Just 3 days now until Election Day, and the stakes couldn't be higher with control of Congress up for grabs. Democrats are hoping to take the majority in Senate by picking up 6 more seats. But will they be able to pull it off? The Ohio Senate race may be the first Republican casualty of the November 7th elections. The New York Times reports that the National Republican Senatorial Committee has pulled its money out of the Senate race in Ohio, all but conceding it to the Democratic challenger. That decision reportedly being fueled by polls like this. Take a look. The latest Zogby Reuters polls show Democratic Congressman Sherrod Brown leading incumbent GOP Senator, and a well-known one at that, Mike DeWine, by 7 points. Brown now has 49%, while DeWine trails with 42%. This is a stunning turn of events for this conservative red state, considering that, as you can see from the pictures, just 2 years ago today, it was Ohio voters who delivered the election to President Bush. That was a key state, turning it all around. Congressman Brown is taking time off the campaign trail to talk to us now. Thank you very much, Congressman. First of all, how's your day been like?
It's cold here. I'm in Wapakoneta, the home of Neil Armstrong, a small, pretty Republican conservative town in western Ohio, where there was a huge turnout of people, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, who want change, who want a different direction in our country. They've had enough.
You know, when you say that, you know, if you look at the latest polls, I mean, you're 7 points ahead. Why do you think your message is resonating with voters?
Well, I think people, they see a choice. If you want to stay the course in Iraq and continue the policies of George Bush and Bob Taft in Columbus, then on jobs and education and health care, you vote for the incumbent. But I think people want a U.S. senator that will take on the interest groups, the drug companies and the oil companies that frankly have a stranglehold on Mike DeWine. I think people want a United States senator who will stand up for the middle class. You know,
the Iraq war is hitting home with a lot of people. You know, if you talk about the latest polls we see, that is sort of like the issue. You voted against it. What do you say to people? You know, your state has suffered so many losses. What is the 4th ranking state in terms of losses in the country, of losses, unfortunately, for servicemen and women in Iraq. What do you say to people when they walk up and say, what do you say to me about the loss of my son or daughter who's been out there?
Well, I've been to far too many wakes, far too many funerals, talked to far too many family members who have seen their sons or daughters or husbands or wives or friends killed in this awful war. I've also been to Bethesda and Walter Reed and visited with an awful lot of servicemen and women who have been injured. And most of them say, we don't want this continued, stay the course. I mean,
so what do you tell them, Congressman, what you're going to do to bring them home?
Well, I think we do a couple of things. We first, my first week in office, I'm going to sit down with Republican leaders like Senator Warner and Senator Hagel, people also who think we should not stay the course. But I think the first thing we do, we push the Iraqi government to build the security and the military and police security forces to stabilize that country. We push the Kurds, the Sunnis and the Shiites to compromise and cooperate in terms of distributing oil revenues and all of that. And we have our military leaders, our generals, not Donald Rumsfeld, but our military leaders, come up with a plan to redeploy our troops out of Iraq in the next 1.5 to 2 years. Stay the course isn't working. We clearly need to do something very different, and we need to do it bipartisanly.
You know, Saddam, the verdict in the Saddam case is expected to come early tomorrow morning. You know, based on your plan, we never would have been there, but he could get the death penalty. Could that work against you?
I don't care to talk about the politics of what Saddam Hussein means, what penalty he gets or not. What I care about is how we heal the wounds of this war.
You know tomorrow people are going to say, you know, the Democrats would have said he'd still be in power.
You can talk. Wait. You can talk about the politics all you want about it. I'm going to talk about what it means to our country, and I'm going to be a senator that fights for the middle class. I'm also going to go to Washington in January and talk to Republican leaders and Democratic leaders about what we do to redeploy our troops in the safest, most orderly way out of Iraq. Because this stay-the-course plan isn't working for the Iraqis, it's not working for our soldiers, and it's not working for our country.
You know, critical in Ohio, of course, manufacturing jobs. I was reading 200,000 jobs, manufacturing, essentially, you know, that whole Ohio Valley there, that whole Ohio River Valley. What are you going to say to those folks on how you can give them safe economic justice, a sense that they're going to have money in their pocketbooks if you get in office?
Well, first thing we're going to do, and this is a major difference between Mike DeWine and me, he supported NAFTA and CAFTA and all these job-killing trade agreements. I led the opposition in Congress to those trade agreements. First thing we do is no more job-killing trade agreements. Second, we start writing tax laws that give incentives to for our companies, our small manufacturers, our small businesses to stay in this country and produce domestically, whether it's Van Wert or Cleveland or Mansfield or Shelby. And then we help our manufacturers figure out what we can do to help these small businesses stay here. Instead, our policy, the Taft policy, the DeWine policy, has been continued tax breaks for these huge corporations that outsource, and these job-killing trade agreements that serve investors but don't serve the workers of this country and don't serve our communities.
Well, Congressman, we're going to be watching closely. It looks like you've got a good advantage there. We wish you so much luck on election night. Thank you very much. We'll see what happens.
Thank you very much, Rita.
Thank you, Congressman, very much. And